the Nintendo Switch 2 wasn't already exciting, it seems like it got even more exciting with yesterday's announcement of Splatoon Raiders. And Splatoon Raiders is definitely really cool, but what I really wanted to talk about is in fact everything that we know so far. The leaks, the rumors, and the information that we have is honestly being pretty accurate. So Nate the Hate, as you probably know, released a whole lot of information over the past couple of days or weeks that point into what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the year. And the one big game that we have to talk about is, of course, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. It honestly seems like this is going to be happening. We're probably at a 90% certainty at this point. Because if you look at it, Nate the Hate did say that we are going to be getting Splatoon Raiders in summer. And lo and behold, we got Splatoon Raiders in summer, which is very, very cool. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. Now, honestly, I think that this is great. Splatoon Raiders is looking pretty cool, and it honestly is a game that you wouldn't have really expected. If you looked at Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, that game was $60 digital and $70 physical, and I guess it makes sense. It's a little tiny Yoshi game that looks definitely really interesting, but it's not the big games like your Zeldas, your Mario, your Pokémon, and all of those bigger games, those bigger titles. But seeing that at a $60 digital price point and $7 physical, you were wondering, is that going to happen to every single other game? Well, no! It seems like Splatoon Raiders is $50, which is really cool, so you probably could expect more and more games kind of go into that price range. That price range of $50 is definitely really great for consumers as a whole. Not sure if this game is going to be worth your dollary dues. Not sure if you should even bother picking up this game or playing through the game. Now, a $50 price point definitely makes for a really interesting talk. Now, is it $50 because Nintendo wants to be generous and it's not one of those big IPs like their Marios, their Zeldas, their Pokemon, or even more Smash Bros heck, but instead a smaller title that they're not sure how it would resonate with the audience? Or is it because the game is smaller and it only has this certain time of content? So let's just say that the game has maybe 4 hours of content. Is that why the game is $50, or is it the first option? Now, I honestly think it's probably the first option because Splatoon Raiders is sort of a new concept. It's essentially like Salmon Run in some ways, but more focused on the single player experience of Salmon Run. If you played Salmon Run in Splatoon 1, I believe, 2, and 3, it's something similar to that, a little bit different. Maybe that's why it could be $50, or it could be because it's like a sort of a rinse and repeat formula where you pretty much go to one mission and then you go to the other mission and then you pretty much rinse and repeat those missions. That could be why it's $50, but again, I honestly think it's probably the first option because it's just like a different sort of formula. But now when we're going back to what Nate the Hate is saying about how we're going to be getting all of these games in summer, it honestly does make sense now, and we could probably believe him about our poor little Nintendo Direct in June. Now honestly, this is fine, this is completely fine right now, a little bit disappointed, but hey, as we know, it's probably going to be a massive Nintendo Direct with a brand new Star Fox game getting announced, and of course, Ocarina of Time. And we could probably see other games for the Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary, like remasters and remake, that could potentially release in summer at some point. Just like they did with the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I believe we did get a Nintendo Direct in June that year. It could have been that when we got the reveal for Skyward Sword, or it could have been in February. But then we got that game released in July, which maybe they're going to be doing something similar. We'll get a remaster and a remake that year. That would definitely be a really big year for the 40th anniversary, and potentially even getting some sort of movie trailer or whatever. But right now, it's looking really good. With the leaks and rumors that we've been getting for quite a while now actually being pretty accurate. So it makes you wonder, what other things are accurate? What other things are actually going to happen? Are we going to be getting something for Kirby this year and potentially something as well for next year? Are we going to be getting something for Pokemon, like this rumored collection that's going to be happening, or even Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire making return? Honestly think that everything is possible right now, because wowzers, it is getting crazy. Now, of course, unless it's from a trusted source, a source that has gotten a couple things right over the past. Nate the Hate is the big one. Pretty much everything that Nate the Hate says is like a 90% confirmation at that point. And maybe others, like I would say potentially Central Leaks, and also potentially, I don't know if you would consider Nash Weedle, probably not anymore, but like besides those, the leakers that are really trusted by the community. So, you know, maybe we could see some of those things actually come true, which now that you say it out loud, a leak that's happened like 4 years ago does not count towards this new era of leaks. It's probably the ones that just came out like last month or maybe 4 months ago. I would say 4 months would be the bare minimum right there, deadline that we're going to be seeing, unless it's something very trusted, like I said. But overall, I'm definitely really excited for the future of the Nintendo Switch 2. At first I was wondering, why am I getting this console? What's going on? I was really excited for Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and all those. Those came and gone. Then we had different games which weren't really the super big ones, like your Marios, your Zeldas, your Smash Bros, whatever the case may be, but they were still pretty cool, like smaller games, which were $70. And now we're seeing a $50 game, which is kind of crazy, like a $50 game. And the big 2026, where pretty much every single game has some sort of $70 price tag with DLC on top of it. We're probably not going to be seeing a DLC for this, and it's $50, which is wow. But of course, if you want the physical game, it's going to be a bit more expensive. So hey, if you want physical, well, there you go. If you don't want physical, well, then also there you go, because whatever is going to be happening. It also seems like Nintendo might do some sort of digital only console, because right now, once you put like sort of a card reading device inside of the Switch, we could probably say it's about $50 more to production cost, instead of that $50 where you could have given back to consumers and made the console like $400, $500, who knows, $400? Yeah, let's just say that. The console will be $400. Instead, you wouldn't have any of the cartridge slots, but there you go. You got your digital-only console, if that's something that you're into. If you've already been buying all your Nintendo games digital, why not? You're pretty much saving $50 on the console if that's something that you're into. It's just a potential right now, because we know that due to the crisis and RAM situation and everything, which seems like, actually, I've been following up on it, it seems like it's going down. The prices of RAM is potentially going down. So maybe Nintendo won't have to raise the prices at all, which is crazy. So Nintendo might be sitting with their $450 console all along. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is pretty interesting, or do you think none of these leaks, this is just a coincidence? Leaks and rumors, not gonna happen. I don't believe it. Like, remember that rumor that we were going to be getting a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite, and also we were going to be getting a patent that is like a dual screen? Whatever happened to that? That's a good question. Nintendo's probably planning. It's patent after all. It could be something completely different that they're going to use 5 years from now for the Nintendo Switch 3s. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. Consider hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you are new. Our goal is trying to reach 5,000 subscribers. That would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for hitting that big red button, like button. Have a great day. I make these outros too long somehow. Gotta make them shorter.